you for your patience. We'll begin in approximately 5 minutes. for your patience. We're going to begin tonight's proceeding with a word of prayer. I'm going to ask Delicia Harrigan to lead us in prayer.
Thank you. Let's start. Dear Lord and merciful Father, we thank you for another wonderful evening. We thank you for this opportunity for us to gather, to share, and interact with you. We ask that we continue tonight's proceeding, that you guide, direct, and help us do all that is right and precious in your holy name. We pray that you bless all the speakers so that they may remember their lines and speak with confidence and fluency. We ask, dear Lord, that you bless the hands that prepared tonight's refreshments. We pray that at the end of this evening's event, you grant us traveling mercies. These things we ask in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Honorable Premier, Mr. Ellis Lorenzo Webster, Honorable Minister of Sustainability, Innovation, and Environment, Mrs. Quincy Gomes Marie, Principal of the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School, Mrs. Vita Celestine Catty, other education officials, teachers, parents, debaters, supporters, boys and girls, a very pleasant good evening. Good evening. Now we're cooking with gas. Welcome to the finals of the 2023 NYPD debate competition. Tonight's moot, the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla's society. So we're now at the end of the trail. We started with about 2,000 people, just joking, about 50, and we have been eliminating each other as we go by. So we're now down to the final four, and we call them the creme de la creme. So tonight, they're going to be battling to achieve the finalist trophies, and you could see later on we'll thank those persons who have contributed to make our proceeding tonight such a wonderful one. I would want to begin by acknowledging our judges tonight. Our head judge tonight is Miss Nakishma Rogers. We also have Alicia Carty and Deanne Connor. Put your hands together for our judges. Our best speaker judge tonight is Miss Nakishma Rogers. We also have Miss Karina Rouse Tomlinson as one of our judges. Our timekeeper tonight is none other than Sahai. Can't call her name, but Sahai. Put your hands together, let her feel welcome. I know you are anxious to proceed tonight, but I would just like to give a brief description of the judges. It has been corrected, Ms. Rose. You're the best speaker judge, and our head judge is Sister Rogers. So let's start tonight with our best speaker judge. Miss Karina Tomlinson is a graduate certificated teacher or certified teacher at the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School. She holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Geography with first-class honors from the University of the West Indies, Mona, and postgraduate diploma in education from Anguilla Community College. As a student, Mrs. Tomlinson was an active member of the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School Literary and Debating Society and an ambassador for the Commonwealth Youth Parliament CYP. She later became a debate coach for the Leeward Islands debating competition, as well as the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School Inter-House Debating Competition. She has also served as an interview and speech coach for the various pageants and has had the honor of judging those segments as well. She's currently a debate coach for the Inter-Primary Debating Competition and volunteers at the Alwyn Allison Richardson Primary School. Put your hands together for our best speaker judge, Mrs. Karina Tomlinson. We now move to our head judge. Miss Nakishma Rogers is a former member and vice president of the Literary and Debating Society. She was also a debater and represented Anguilla for several years. Over that period, she would have captained the debate team and received the Best Speaker Award on different occasions. Mrs. Rogers has experience in oratorical competition, speech, writing, and public speaking as a host, pageant chaperone and coach, and a speech night awardee. She has experience as a former TV and radio host. Nakishma was the 2006 Island Scholarship recipient, as well as a graduate of the University of the West Indies, the Norman Manley Law School, and the University of London. She is an attorney at law by profession, called to the bar since 2011, and also holds both a bachelor and a master's degree in law. Mrs. Rogers is currently a partner in the island newest law firm, KCW Carty and Rogers. Put your hands together for Sister Nakishma Rogers. Thank you very much. Miss Dana Connor has been a teacher for the past 10 years. She started her teaching career at the Alwyn Allison Primary School and then transitioned to the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School. Upon obtaining her Bachelor of Arts in Literature, English, with education, she resumed teaching at the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School, where she currently teaches English, Communication Studies, and Literature. She also teaches English at the Comprehensive Learning Center. Mrs. Connor is a Sunday school teacher and youth leader at her church. From a young age, she has had a deep love for debating. She was a part of debating clubs and competitions from primary school to university, including New Young Progressive Debaters, and has served as a writer and coach for the Anguillan team in the Leeward Island debating competition. Mrs. Connor is passionate about education and youth work. In her spare time, she enjoys reading, movies, and siestas. Put your hands together for Sister Dana Connor. I almost said Mrs. Alicia Carty has proudly represented her school and country through the art of debating since her entrance to the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School in 2015. As a lover and practitioner of the performing arts, Alicia sees debate as just another way to express herself formally and creatively. Her journey with debating began in Campus B's New Young Progressive Debaters Club, where she trained impromptu and prepared debates. In 2017, she placed second in the NYPD annual debate alongside her partner, Kalia Johnson. Alicia's journey as a debater didn't end there. In 2017, she joined the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School Literary and Debating Society. That school year, she was the youngest member of the team selected to represent Anguilla in the Leeward Islands debating competition. She was also a part of the 2019 team to represent in Antigua in 2021. The Literary and Debating Society held 3 nights of debate where Ms. Carty was named Best Speaker. She, along with her partner C.C. Walker, was named the winner of the series. Alicia is a former president of the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School Literary and Debating Society and is always eager to tell how the school's various debating clubs and events have been highlights in her journey through the Albina Lake Hodge Comprehensive School. Put your hands together for Alicia Carte. Good. At this point, I will introduce our debaters and ask them to grace us on the stage. Tonight, the proposition's first speaker is Shalia Paul. Welcome her to the stage. She will be supported tonight by Miss Tamaya Brooks. Make some noise for Sister Tamaya. On the opposing side, we have the first speaker being Sanaya Richardson. And tonight, she will be ably supported by her partner, Miss Kishanice Edwards. Before we proceed, let me now run through the rules of the competition so you could be your own judge. Speaking order. Speaking order and speaking time limit speakers make their presentation in the following order. The time that is listed is the maximum amount of time for each speech. The first speaker of the proposition has 9 minutes maximum. First speaker of the opposition has 9 minutes maximum. The second speaker of the proposition has 7 minutes maximum. And the second speaker of the opposition also have a maximum of 7 minutes to speak. Each speaker will be allotted a 30 seconds grace period. Thereafter, 1 mark will be deducted for every 10 seconds over the allotted time. The timekeeper shall give a warning. Have you heard that bell? Yes. 1 minute before the expiration of the speaker's allotted time. And again at the end of the allotted time. In other words, if the first speaker has 9 minutes, I expect to hear ting-a-ling-a-ling at 8 minutes. Before the start of the deliberation, the auditor will collect the score sheets on which the scores achieved by each team will be recorded by 3 judges. The auditor will then compute the final scores, determine the winning team, and turn over the results to the head judge. I also have to add that we have a new, not really a new, but we are dealing with the rebuttals this year. Each speaker will be allotted a maximum of 3 minutes to rebut. Again, it is an experiment that we are trying because we recognize that in our LIDC, it's one of our weaker areas. So even though I know it's going to be extremely challenging, and I know you're going to support them 150%, we decided that we will put it in and let them hammer it home. So give them a hand. We're ready. It's time to rumble. I repeat the topic. The introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on the Anguilla society. I now ask the first speaker of the proposition to come and present her argument. Put your hands together and welcome to the podium Sister Sanaya Richardson. Sorry. Shalea, Paul, make some noise for Sister Paul.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Moderator, before I even address anyone tonight, can we all agree that these last few years have not been easy or peachy? The cost of living in Angola is choking us, and the GST is killing our people. When we look at the way in which we are living, dare say suffering, the way to combat it is right in front of our eyes. The introduction of gambling in casinos. Mr. Moderator, my worthy opponents, beloved judges, ladies, and gentlemen of the audience, I wish you all a very pleasant good evening. This evening, I am a proud proponent of the moot that the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Angola's society. Gambling is defined by Britannica as the betting or staking of something with value, with consciousness of risk and hope of gain. Negative is defined by dictionary.com as lacking affirmative qualities, whereas positive is defined as having affirmative qualities. And lastly, the Oxford Dictionary defines society as a particular community of people who share the same customs, laws, etc. Tonight, my colleague and I are not here to say that there will be no negative impact. Rather, that the positive impacts outweigh the negative ones. I will do so through exploring the exceptional positive impacts and how they will benefit Angola society. Through 1. The provision of employment opportunities and boost to local businesses. 2. The increase in local revenue. And 3. The diversification of the tourism industry. My able colleague will further our stance through explaining how the revenue can be used to improve certain sectors, preserve Angolan culture, and encourage money management skills. Firstly, Mr. Moderator, the unemployment rates in Angola are extremely concerning. At the 2023 British Overseas Youth Territory Summit, Angola's representatives identified this issue as a grave and pressing one. The National Youth Policy supports this, as it reveals that youth unemployment is at a rate of over 50%. According to the Daniel Amango's article on the role of youth casinos in job creation and economic growth, the casino industries offers diverse employment opportunities, ranging from dealers to security staff and administrative personnel. Additionally, the presence of casinos generates indirect job opportunities and boosts local businesses in industries like hospitality, entertainment, transportation, and retail. We always talk about how the small man with the business ideas needs to be supported. And now is the chance to do it by introducing casinos. Our local businesses can be sustained and promoted through the casino industry. For example, local drinks like tamarind juice and local food from B&Ds can be sold. Doesn't that sound exceptional? Giving our local vendors, entrepreneurs, and businesses the opportunity to profit through the introduction of gambling in casinos. With the increase of tourists to the island through the casino industry, even the vendors outside of the ferry terminal will get more sales. Moderator, the provision of employment opportunities and boost to local businesses through the introduction of casino gambling in Angola will control the unemployment rate in Angola, as well as boost our existing businesses. Additionally, moderator, do you know how in debt Angola is? We are in debt by $395 million as of May 2023. And Miss Mr. Moderator, listen to this. The article, How Monaco Has Benefited from Its Luxury Casino, reported in Luxury Lifestyle magazine, states that the casino ultimately went on to save the ruling house from Monaco from bankruptcy. Yes, bankruptcy. The casino industry also helped to cement Monaco's status as one of the wealthiest provinces in Europe. Moderator, just look at that. If we follow that route, Anguilla should be out of debt and thriving before I have children. This can occur because casinos are subject to licensing fees, gambling taxes, and other levies imposed by local authorities. The revenue generated from gambling taxes can contribute significantly to local budgets and elevate the burden on taxpayers. Additionally, the Rockefeller Institute of Government article, The Fiscal Impact Legalized Casino Gambling. This report emphasizes that the tax revenue from casinos has a positive impact on local government finances and aiding in budget stability, which is exactly what Anguilla needs to survive. Furthermore, moderator, the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla's society due to the beneficial diversification of the tourism industry. Moderator, anyone who opposes the move is going to try to compare Anguilla's possible introduction of casinos to the casino culture in St. Martin, which we tend to frown upon. But Mr. Moderator, what they don't show you, what they don't tell you, is how islands like Aruba, the Bahamas, and Monaco have successfully utilized casino gambling to diversify their tourism sectors. The introduction of casinos has not only attracted gambling enthusiasts, but has also enticed a wider range of travelers seeking both natural beauty and entertainment. According to the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association and the Aruba Tourism findings, the presence of casinos has led to a substantial increase in visitor numbers, extended their average length of stay, and boosted overall tourism revenue. The success of these islands in integrating casino gambling into its tourism offerings highlight the potential for Anguilla to follow a similar path, leveraging its own natural attractions alongside casino establishments to diversify its tourism sector and capitalize on the economic benefits associated with increased visitor numbers. Moderator, there is an urgent need to diversify its tourism findings in Anguilla. And the reality is, sea, sun, and sand will only get us so far. Mr. Moderator, as the controversial topic of casinos in Anguilla continuously emerges in our conversations, the question arises, does the positives outweigh the negatives? The answer lies in transformative impact of casino tourism on host cities. With a global valuation of $747.9 billion in 2022, the gambling industry has created a surge in employment, an increase in revenues, and thriving local businesses. This is what Anguilla needs. While it is crucial to address any potential negative consequences and implement appropriate regulations, the positive impacts of the introduction of casino gambling in Anguilla cannot be overlooked. To reaffirm our stance in support of the moot, the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla's society by creating a thriving economy, provide meaningful employment, boosting local businesses, and diversifying tourism. It is in best interest by Anguillan society to harness businesses and diversifying tourism. It is in best interest of Anguillan society to harness these benefits and pave the way for a brighter and more prosperous future for us all. Thank you.
That was the sister herself, Shalea Paul, as she supported the argument that chalet, as somebody said. The introduction of casinos, gambling in casinos, would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla society. And she spoke for a time of 9 minutes and 16 seconds. This now brings us to the first speaker of the opposition, and she will oppose the argument that the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla society. I ask you to put your hands together. Welcome to the podium, Sister Sanaya Richardson.
Oh, I just want to test that. Hello? Proverbs chapter 13, verses 11 to 12 of the New Living Translation states, wealth from get-rich-quick schemes quickly disappears, but wealth from hard work grows over time. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Moderator, learned judges, worthy opponent, listening and viewing audience, good evening. Tonight, my colleague and I take great pleasure in opposing the moot. The introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla society. Despite the straightforward nature of this moot, permit me to define the key terms. Gambling, as defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is the practice of risking money or other stakes in a game or bet. The same source defines casinos as a building or room used for social amusement, specifically one used for gambling. Cambridge Dictionary defines impact as a powerful effect something has, especially something new, on a situation or a person. Collins Dictionary defines negative as a fact, situation, or experience which is unpleasant, depressing, or harmful. Positive as a fact, situation, or experience which is pleasant and helpful to you in some way. Lastly, according to the worlddata.info, Anguilla is a small island nation located in the Caribbean region, whose society is characterized by its close-knit community, rich cultural heritage, and laid-back lifestyle. Moderator, to prove that the introduction of gambling in casinos will negatively impact Anguilla society, I will elaborate on the economic implications of this venture in 3 points. 1. Casino introduction brings short-term economic benefits, but risks long-term stability and job losses. 2. Large-scale casinos pose a threat to local businesses, jeopardize culture and tourism. 3. The addictive nature of gambling can lead to poverty. My able colleague will expound upon the social risks of gambling in casinos by highlighting how such endeavor will, 1. Introduce and escalate many social issues in Anguillan society, and 2. Spark an increase in nonviolent crime. Moderator, the opposition acknowledges that the introduction of gambling in casinos may initially boost the local economy through the promise of increased tourism and job creation. However, the long-term economic risks should be considered. According to the Anguilla Economic and Financial Review, published in June 2021, tourism dominates the economic landscape of Anguilla. Its interlinkage with other major economic sectors means that a downturn in tourism will constrain activity in those sectors. During the first half of 2021, Anguilla recorded 6,984 tourist visitors. This performance was a stark decline from the 38,922 visitors reported for 2019. Moderator, this is evidence that heavily relying on a single industry has made Anguilla's economy vulnerable to external factors beyond its control. Additionally, moderator, the proposition may try to convince you that a casino will bring in new jobs to aid unemployment, but the construction of a casino is simply adding another low-skill, low-paying job to our community. Since our society does not have the population to support such an establishment, this too will become a seasonal job, leaving those employed unemployed for a portion of the year. This unemployment will have an extremely negative impact on the economies of our nation, which unavoidably hinders development. Note first, moderator, that most Caribbean territories have imposed taxes to stay afloat economically because of unemployment. 2019 revenue statistics in Latin America and the Caribbean show that an increase in unemployment can lead to increase in taxes. We as Anguillians are very familiar with one in particular, the Goods and Services Tax, GST, which was implemented in our country in 2022. Which brings me to my second point. Moderator, you and I both know that the establishment of large-scale casinos can have a detrimental effect on local businesses. Local restaurants, bars, and entertainment venues might struggle to compete with the amenities and attractions offered by casinos, leading to a decline in these businesses and potential loss of cultural identity. In an article titled, "A Good Way to Wreck a Local Economy, Build Casinos," written by political commentator David Frum states, casinos don't encourage non-gaming businesses to open nearby because the people who most often visit casinos do not wander out to visit other shops and businesses. Moderator, a casino is not like a show in the carnival village or a football match at the football stadium, offering a time-limited amusement. It is designed to be an all-absorbing environment that does not release its customers until they have exhausted all of their money. Moderator, my naive opponents will try to convince you that casinos will bring tourists into our country. But why would they come to our island to partake in an industry that already exists around the world? According to the World Casino Directory, St. Martin has 12 casinos, Antigua and Barbuda has 6 casinos, and Puerto Rico has 24. The expectation that the clientele which supports these establishments will opt to choose Anguilla as a gambling destination when our unique culture and natural environment is what makes Anguilla stand out as a tourist destination is wishful thinking. Lastly, moderator, gambling is extremely addictive. My colleague and I are not for a moment ignoring the fact that gambling exists in the country, but why should we make it worse? On countless occasions after a bingo night or a lottery call, there is always one person who is just one number or one letter off from winning. Is it the thrill of almost winning that has our society throwing away money? Moderator, gambling can lead to a rise in poverty rates with significant implications for the economy. As gambling-related debts build up, people may empty their savings, neglect bill payments, and even resort to borrowing money, worsening their financial gloom. This vicious cycle of poverty can have serious consequences for the economy. Moderator, these individuals are less likely to participate in consumer spending, which is a crucial driver of economic growth. Reduced consumer spending, in turn, can negatively impact businesses, leading to downsizing, layoffs, and a decline in job opportunities. Yes, moderator, the introduction of gambling in casinos may seem enticing with its initial promise of economic growth, but we must consider the negative consequences that will undoubtedly impact Anguilla society in the long run. The economic risks, the adverse effect on local businesses, and the likely harm to Anguilla's culture cannot be ignored. As responsible stewards of our society, it is crucial that we prioritize sustainable development and preserve the unique identity of Anguilla. It is for this reason I can firmly and with clear conscience state that the introduction of gambling in casinos will have a more negative than positive impact on Anguilla society. Thank you.
That was the sister herself, Sister Sanaya Richardson, as she opposed the argument that the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla's society. And she spoke for a time of 8 minutes and 14 seconds. We now move to the second speaker of the proposition. She would oppose the argument that the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla's society. I ask you to put your hands together. Welcome to the podium, Sister Sanaya Brooks.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hello? Okay, okay. Mia Motley once said in an interview entitled Time to Pivot, and I quote, "There is a barrier that I was born into, a barrier every small islander inherits. It is the barrier of self-contempt. You want, you want sent men to the moon, and you won't invent the latest great computer. You're a little island, born into a situation where you feel lesser than other people." Unquote. Allow me to demonstrate tonight how we as a people can break this barrier. Mr. Moderator, honorable judges, my most capable opponents, ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant good afternoon. I rise in unwavering conviction to the moot. The introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla society. Mr. Moderator, our goal is not to deny the existence of negative impacts, but to emphasize the immense positive benefits that outweigh them. Allow me to highlight how the introduction of casino gambling can, number one, use the revenue earned to enhance social sectors. Number two, preserve the Anguillan culture. And number three, improve money management skills of the Anguillan people. Point number one, casino-generated revenue can improve our health, education, and infrastructure. Mr. Moderator, are you not tired of having to travel abroad to seek medical attention? Of hearing the cries of our teachers, the cries of the youth? Mr. Moderator, the proposition has the will and there is a way. Monaco's example proves that the benefits of introducing casino gambling outweigh the negatives. It contributes 4% of their revenue, fueling the local economy and providing funding for healthcare. In fact, Monaco boasts the highest HDI and benefits from improved infrastructure and high real estate prices. Anguilla society seeks a thriving education sector. According to Dr. Samantha Cleaver in her 2020 article, The Benefits of Increasing Teachers' Pay, a study was shown that a 10% raise in teachers' salaries could result in a 5 to 10% improvement in students' performance. By utilizing casino revenue, we can revolutionize our education system like Monaco and Macau. Also, as highlighted by the International Medical Travel Journal, casino funds can facilitate the expansion of medical services, acquisition of modern equipment, recruitment of skilled professionals, and support for health education and prevention programs. Point number two, the infrastructure of the casino can be used as a means of preserving Anguillan culture. One thing I think we can all agree on is that we don't want Anguilla to become the next St. Martin. Our island has a unique lifestyle, similar to Aruba and the Bahamas, which have successfully benefited from the casino industry without compromising their beauty. Casino-generated revenue can quite easily preserve Anguillan culture. The architecture, interior decor, and entertainment offerings can reflect Anguillan traditions. Local arts can be showcased and live performances of folk music and bands featured. This will not only preserve Anguilla's tradition, but
also offer a platform for locals to showcase their talents. Mr. Moderator, we cannot confine our culture to one little museum in East End or a statue at the post office. We can't keep waiting for the next big holiday either. Point number 3. The implementation of gambling casinos will force people to improve their money management skills. Mr. Moderator, for my final point, consider this. Ask any Anguillian how they learned to swim, and 9 out of 10 of them will say that someone pushed them off the wharf. Although scary, it created the next Alex Fleming Lake. Similarly, introducing gambling in casinos will teach our people how to manage their money. Mr. Moderator, opponents claiming there is no such thing as good gambling are uninformed. We can learn from Monaco's successful industry by implementing restrictions like spending limits, player support, counseling, and self-exclusion programs to mitigate negative impacts like relationship strains and absolute poverty. The Journal of Gambling Studies says that gambling can enhance individuals' financial decision-making abilities and foster responsible financial behavior. This translates into broader financial responsibility as individuals learn to exercise their self-control and manage their resources wisely. Mr. Moderator, I have shown you tonight that casino gambling can positively impact Anguilla society beyond just the economy. We must consider the needs of our people. These positive impacts supersede any negative ones that exist, as long as we implement necessary limitations. Therefore, I remain firm in my support for the moot that the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla society. Let us make the change for our youth, for our society. Let us be the example for every small islander out there. Let us break the barrier of self-content. I thank you.
That was Tamaya Brooks, as she supported the argument that the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla's society. And she spoke for a time of 6 minutes and 48 seconds. We now move to the final speaker and the second speaker of the opposition to oppose the argument that the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla's society. I ask you to put your hands together. Welcome to the podium, Sister Kishanice Edo Edwards.
There is a universal truth in gambling. The many must lose in order that the few may win. Mr. Moderator, esteemed judges, my most illustrious opponents, ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant good evening. I now have the rather exciting task of providing full support to my most capable colleague in total opposition to the moot, which states the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla society. Firstly, Mr. Moderator, the introduction of gambling in the form of casinos would introduce and escalate many social issues in Anguilla society. Moderator, let me first start by saying that Anguilla is a very peaceful society, and when compared to our neighboring islands, we definitely do not struggle with as many vices and societal issues as they do. But moderator, the reason we only have small gambling issues in Anguilla is because we only have small gambling opportunities. When your only options to gamble are a lotto here and there, or private endeavors, or illegal betting, circumstances tend to dull your interest for you. But when you are offered a supersized, centralized, advertised form of gambling, it is hard not to fall victim to the lifestyle it brings. In an article entitled Jamaica's Casino Initiative, published by the University of the West Indies, Mona campus in 2009, in reference to studies observing the societal impact of casino gambling, it states that it leads to divorce, compulsive gambling, child neglect, higher suicide rates, higher crime rates, and the people who are most affected are those among us who require the most help, the poor. The presence of casinos represents a slippery slope for social decay. The presence of casinos, even in specific locations away from vulnerable populations, may make it more acceptable for people to engage in other forms of gambling, ultimately leading to a substitution effect where gambling may be seen as a legitimate job rather than a beneficial hobby. The result of this could be more intense social problems for the society. For instance, internet gambling and gambling linked to sex work may become more acceptable and prevalent with the rise of casino gambling. Secondly, moderator, the introduction of casino gambling will spark an increase in nonviolent crime. Moderator, it is fairly obvious that a cash-attractive business such as a casino will also attract violent criminals. Whether the gamblers are victims of gunpoint robberies due to the fact that they will have cash on entry and exit into casinos, or the gamblers become the perpetrators of robbery themselves in an attempt to regain lost money or to further fuel their lifestyle. Moderator, not only are casinos creating an avenue for criminals to use, they are also creating criminals. There are many, many stories of this nature around the world. Our next door neighbor, St. Martin, moderator, we even have stories here in Anguilla, where one of the lotteries was robbed last September, and we don't even have a casino yet. It's a sad but true fact, moderator. So we, the opposition, won't even dwell on it. We instead hope to shed light onto the nonviolent, less visible crimes that are given room to grow through the existence of casinos. One of these crimes, moderator, is money laundering, which can become a major problem for law enforcement and those in charge of legislation. According to the Basel Institute of Governance, in an article entitled Money Laundering Through the Gambling Industry, quote, the most common way to launder money through a casino is to simply convert dirty money into chips or electronic balance, gamble for a short period of time, then cash the funds out. Variants of this cash-in, cash-out tactic may include dividing money into several smaller betting accounts or asking for withdrawn credit to be made available in another jurisdiction. Moderator, these are tactics used to evade anti-money laundering protocols in larger and more advanced countries. How can we, in little Anguilla, expect to combat such a sophisticated methods of criminal activity with our current resources? Moderator, we can't. According to the fact sheet titled Gambling Disorder, published by Yale Medicine, it states, and I quote, gambling disorder affects about 1% of Americans who can't stop despite the consequences. I can hear some of your thoughts already. Just 1%? But I ain't so bad. But 1 in every 100 persons in a society being a gambling addict is a very bad statistic. And you don't have to take my word for it. Here's the word of God. Matthew chapter 18, verses 12 and 13 states, and I quote, if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99 and goeth into the mountains and seeketh that which is gone astray? And if so, be that he find it. Verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more over that one sheep than of the 99 which went not astray. This parabolic story teaches us that we should help those who can't help themselves. And in this context, even if the 99 are fine, don't supply an addict with a casino. Moderator, there is nothing more to say. We have highlighted the damages to the economy. We have highlighted the social issues that can be festered given the chance. We've spoken about families and their bonds. We've given you statistics. Reinforced with the composition of these truths, I stand firm in total opposition to the moot. The introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Angola's society. The opposition rests.
That was Sister Kishanice Edwards as she opposed the argument that the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on the Anguilla's society. And she spoke for a time of 6 minutes and 33 seconds. At this point, I'm going to ask you to hold your breath for 4 3/4 minutes while they prepare the rebuttal. I will tell you when to breathe. After that time, we will come back with the first speaker of the opposition, who would have a maximum of 3 minutes to rebut, followed by the first speaker of the proposition, who will also have 3 minutes. Start timing now. it for so long because this is the magical moment. This is the real test. The first speaker of the opposition will speak for a maximum of 3 minutes to rebut the argument of the proposition. I ask you now to welcome back to the podium Sister Sanaya Richardson.
Hello? Mr. Moderator, learned judges, worthy opponents, listening and viewing audience, good evening. Good evening once again. We have listened carefully to the argument presented by the proposition. The first speaker spoke about employment opportunities, boosting local businesses, and diversification of tourism. So tell me, how will casinos diversify tourism when there's already casinos everywhere in the world? People do not come to Anguilla just to go to casinos and gamble. As we said in my debate, people come to Anguilla for its unique environment and for our beaches and hotels. Who would come to Anguilla to go in a casino? No one comes to Anguilla to go to casinos. How does the opposition... I can't do this. Okay. Mr. Moderator, lawn judges, worthy opponents, listening and viewing audience, good evening once again. We have listened carefully to the argument presented by the proposition. The first speaker spoke about employment opportunities, boosting local businesses, and diversification of tourism. In terms of boosting local businesses, Mr. Moderator, while gambling may initially bring in some additional revenue, it is often accompanied by negative social and economic consequences. Studies have shown that the economic benefits of gambling tend to be overstated, with much of the revenue coming from local residents rather than tourists. The first speaker also spoke about diversification of tourism. So please, tell me how will casinos diversify tourism when there are already casinos everywhere in the world? Mr. Moderator, majority of the tourists in Anguilla already come from places where there is a hustle and bustle of life. Majority of our tourists come to Anguilla for our cool and calm atmosphere. Mr. Moderator, what tourism in their right mind would spend so much money on a plane ticket to come to Anguilla to go to casinos when they already have them in their hometown? Mr. Moderator, no tourism will come to Anguilla to go in a casino. And what casino will tell our customer about our heritage? Mr. Moderator, the proposition on... Anything else to say?
That was the first speaker of the opposition as she rebutted the argument of the proposition, and she spoke for a time of 4 minutes. We now move to the first speaker of the proposition, and she will oppose the argument of the moot. The introduction of gambling in the casino would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla's society. Put your hands together. Welcome to the podium, Sister Shalea Paul.
Moderator, trusted judges, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, tonight, I firmly believe that the opposition is really trying to trick you. And I'll tell you just why. The first speaker of the opposition stated that gambling in casinos could jeopardize tourism. It will not jeopardize tourism because interested tourists will go to the casinos, bringing in even more money to go towards our weak areas of social aspects. The second speaker of the opposition states, gambling leads to divorce and suicide. But Mr. Moderator, this can easily be combated by counseling. They also addressed how gambling is creating criminals. But how is that even possible? With limitations in place and regulations, crime is less likely to occur as we protect the poor, since restrictions prevent persons under a certain income from playing. And as my colleague stated, you're a little island, born into a situation where you feel lesser than the other people. So tonight, allow me to demonstrate how we as a people can break this barrier. Because we love doing bingo. We love doing raffles for fundraising. Even tonight, Moderator, those very same tickets in your hand, in the audience hands, that's a raffle. That's a game of chance. Point and case. Moderator, is that not gambling? What difference is a casino? So with that being said, I am a proud proponent of the moot that the introduction of gambling in casinos would have a more positive than negative impact on Anguilla's society. Why accept one form of gambling and not the other? I thank you.
That was Sister Shalea Paul, as she rebutted the argument of the proposition. She spoke for a time of 2 minutes and 5 seconds. To be or not to be? There is the question. I'm going to ask one of my stewards to lead our judges to their room where they will be deliberating while we collaborate and gossip. So, it is not by accident that we chose that topic, because I always believe that young people should have a say in what is happening in this country. I would also like to say that this is the first time I have not had any input at all in the debates, deliberately, because I wanted it to come from the guts of the youth, because they need to be heard. I would like to, at this point, before I ask you your views, to just thank our trainers, and I'm not going to say who they are yet because the judges might hear, for doing such a wonderful job in preparing our debaters. And of course, you for being such a supportive audience. But we chose this topic because it's very current. Lots of people are talking. And I will always say to my debaters, your opinion don't count unless you can support it and you can back it up with facts. And that is the most important thing whenever we speak about any topic, is that your opinion is valued, but it must be supported by facts. And when we debate, it's not just about feelings, but it's about presenting the argument to convince not just the judges. So a lot of time when we debate, my debaters would ask me, for example, if we debate about cell phones, does that mean if we win that we're going to be able to bring our cell phones and use them in class? I said, no, but your voices were heard. And that's the most important thing. So, don't be shy. I'm not going to tell you, but I would love to hear from you. What is your opinion on the topic? Because it concerns all of us. Anyone has an opinion? No one? Yes, sister. And guess what? Because you're the bravest, you won yourself the first prize for the night. You're not gambling, you just won it. Come on down. Yeah, help me, please.
I might not be able to do a good job.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, let her use that one. Well, she wants to be on the stage, so let her stay on the stage. Come.
Well, I think that gambling has a more negative impact than a positive impact. Like the opposition stated, a lot of our people that do gambling are mostly men, not to be stereotypical, and the men neglect their families because they get an addiction towards spending money. They use different money that they have saved up in hope that they would win. But most of the time they don't, and that causes different problems, causes them to go to different places to get other money, and most of the time those places are not very good. So that can cause crime, like they said. So I don't support your rebuttal.
Thank you very much. Put your hands together for Sister Delicia Hargan and Miss Grant. You have the power to give her the first gift of your choice for being so brave. It doesn't mean that the second person will get a gift, though, you know. Anyone else has a view? My friend.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Yeah. So my point, I support the opposition because they said that it will bring debt. It will bring the casino gambling will bring debt to a person if they gamble and they lose the money. And while in Angola, if they lose the debt, how are they going to pay GST? That's the question. But it's like a hit or miss. Because look, you see in The Raisin in the Sun, Walter, he asked his mother for the money from his past father's insurance, yeah, and he tried to invest it into a company. That's a hit or miss. He could have gone dead broke, as he kind of did, but yeah, he escaped, he slipped. So, he got scammed. So, I'm trying to say that it's a hit or miss. You shouldn't really do it. And with Anguilla, we done broke, yeah. No offense. But it's a hit or miss. We shouldn't do it. Too smart. Size don't matter.
Thank you so much. Where's Sister Harrigan? I think I saw somebody at the back. Yes, Josella? I know it's just the men in black speaking. You can speak with any color.
Okay, so as much as I'd like to agree with the proposition, I am also siding with the opposition. To piggyback on what Delicia said, gambling in the long run will only lead to more crime because as you feed more and more into the gambling, you're basically just gonna end up using it kind of as a drug. And basically, once you lose and you keep losing and you keep losing, it's gonna start getting to you. And over time, you're gonna try and find different ways to try and cope with that loss. So some people fall into different type of drug abuse and they end up going home and taking it out on maybe their wives, their children, which brings more to the crime rate that the opposition and Delicia were talking about. So that's just my view.
Thank you. Anyone else? So I have a question. Is there anyone, because we have to go back to the mood, that is not opposed to gambling, but is opposed to gambling in the casino? That's the mood. Because for some of us, and somebody accused us tonight of gambling. So, so the question is, we have to go back to the mood. Is it okay for you to gamble, but do you have a problem with gambling in a casino or casino gambling? Let's hear from Mosanto, Timothy, the man himself. I notice we're hearing just from the youth. So this is like a youth parliament. I want to hear from every Tutmun Saman Bagay. And he wants to come up on the stage to have his moment.
This is my spot.
This is his spot.
Hello, good afternoon. Oh, sorry, good night. I believe I really have a problem with casino gambling because they see the host always wins. There have been several cases in which people say that the machines are malfunctioning, and that caused a lady in 2019, it was an old woman, she won $1 million on the slot machine, but then they claimed that it was malfunctioning, and she only got $11.93 from the court. And if you reach that 1 in a million chance, but then for some reason they pull the rug onto you, it's just horrible.
Timothy had his moment. Yes. Anyone else would like to air their views? No? And I know, sister, you always have something to tell me, so talk to me. Take the mic to my young friend. The one with the pretty smile. Nikaima.
Hello, everyone.
What do you think?
So I think overall gambling is bad because there's so much like factors that play into it being bad. For example, it can increase more crime rates. It makes people hungry for money, which is worse. And if you're like spiritual and you believe in the Bible or in Jesus, as it says, money is the root of all evil. And the love of money is the root of all evil, which in my opinion, I translate it as if you love money that much, it will make you do anything for it. For example, killing, maybe, injuring people. So I think that gambling overall is something that we shouldn't partake in, and more so in casinos, like it will just increase everything bad and negative. So that's what I think. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? Going thrice? So we're going to move off. Oh, we're hearing from our principal. Put your hands together for our principal, Sister Rita Carte.
Okay, but you already said twice, so I will, that discussion, I will mainly say that I want to say that how proud I am of our first and second farmers, because people need to know that these are the very little ones. They haven't reached the third farm yet, so please commend them for what they have done tonight. To me, they showed understanding on both sides that's way beyond their years. And they are discussing something that is very important, and they did so with a lot of confidence. And as you said, they didn't only bring opinions and emotions, but they brought the statistics, they brought all of the material to support what they were saying. So that's very good training for them for life. And this is a real, authentic moment. This is authentic learning. And also, I guess, contributing to the decision making, because this is what is topical in Angola right now. And just to add that economic considerations seem to be mainly what we are talking about, but we do not live by bread alone. We are not only about money. I think social engineering is needed in Angola right now because we need to know what we want besides money. Money can't be all that we want. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I think before you speak, we will conclude this segment and we'll move to an even more important segment. That is winning a prize. Notice I said that out of my breath. But before we do, we go to the interactive segment. I would just like to acknowledge some of the persons who made tonight's proceedings possible, especially the ones who contributed towards those beautiful trophies. Aren't they wonderful? See, every year, some persons, we don't even have to go to them. They come to us to contribute because they want to be a part of the development of the youth. We have, and this particular sponsor wanted to be the big kahuna. They said that they're not giving no $100. I sponsoring the biggest prize, which is tonight is the best speaker of the finals. And so therefore, that's the most expensive trophy there in yellow. Where is it? At the back. And it's not yellow, it's gold. And that was sponsored by KCW, Carty, and Rogers, attorney at law. Put your hands together, thanking them. We also like to thank Anguilla A Services, Mr. Jamie Hodge, Honorable Premier Ellis Lorenzo Webster, Honorable Kenneth Hodge, Honorable Quincy Gomes Marie, Honorable Merritt Richardson, Honorable Jose Vanterpool. We'd also like to thank Jack at Sunny Times Supermarket. I think I saw him. Jack, are you in the house? Yes, Jack is in the house. Bass Car Rental, Titanium Sounds, Anguilla Lottery, Maduka. What is it? Huh? Madoka. Miss Mary Smith for the cupcakes that tasted so nice that we sold, we didn't gamble them. KCW International Computer System. Also, the Bush Boys and Bevan from Bevan Lake. They not only contributed, they contributed $200 US. Also to Miss Raquel Fleming, we would like to thank Cool FM, Radio Anguilla, the principal and staff of the Albina Lake Arch Comprehensive School, the Anguilla Football Association. Yeah, you're going to find out why later. Also, I would like to extend a very special thank you to the trainers. And now I can reveal who the trainers are. Proposition trainers, Ronica Hodge and please, excuse me, you look so beautiful tonight, I thought you were married. Yes, let me go over that again. Ronica Connor and CC Walker. I know for sure you're not married. And the trainers for the opposition, Mr. Ivor Adams and Sister Samisha Connor. Y'all could stand so people could see the proud people that made our debate possible tonight, doing a wonderful job. Now what I like about, thank you very much. What I like about this is that lots of us achieve and move on, but some of us achieve and give back. And I like when our debaters, our past debaters, I can depend on CC. Call her morning, noon, or night, so long as she has money on her phone, and she will respond. So she got me the judges. She got me trainers to work with both parties. And so I thank you so much, CC. Keep up the good work. Keep our hand, people. Now, I know at this time some person is going to be pulling back their hand. But I promise that when you come in here, you get a ticket. We're not gambling here. We're just taking a ticket. So, there's one other thing to people. Tonight, yes, sir. Wait. Banks? Thanks. Hold on. He's trying to tell me something. Hold on. He's saying thanks to somebody down there. Hold on. Who down there? Titanium Soul. Hold on. Before we move on, Randy, you here too? You're representing Cool FM, Titanium Sound, and the stream live is what? In Anguilla. Yes, and Gav told me to say these words. But no, I'm 58, so I can't remember these words, but I'm going to try. That they are streaming not only tonight, but they stream on YouTube, and they also support the LHCS website. So for those persons who are not here, they get a chance to see us, see my face, see the debater's face, and be an active part of tonight. Yes, I'm trying to find my paper because I have something written at the back, because we can't forget the persons who worked on the refreshments. We can't forget those persons who worked on the decorations. My team over there, Kalia, yes, give them a hand. Spent almost all day here. Oh yes, I'm now seeing Gaff saying, in Anguilla, Facebook, YouTube, Albina Lake Country Comprehensive Page site. That's how they do their business. So thank you so much. And of course, there's lots of people who contributed some special prizes, and we're going to have some of them today. And I've also made myself a pledge, because they said I'll be cheating. So tonight, I'm going to ask Regine to come up here beside me. So you're going to pick the people, and I ask the question, and you so forth and so forth. Yes. Yeah. So you can have an opportunity to feel good about yourself. And of course, we can thank those persons who are contributing. So, lots of goodies. For those footballers.
Did everybody get a ticket?
Well, those who wanted a ticket have a ticket. Anybody didn't get a ticket and would like to have one? Yes. Remember, I want to make it clear, you're not gambling, eh? You're just taking a ticket out of the bag. Is somebody over there? Did you got one? Todo. Okay. Shake up the bag, shake up the bag. Okay, don't shake it out. Okay, I got two. You keep one. 09. Go ahead. 80. 5. 1 4.
1 4.
What is she getting tonight?
Sorry. So our first prize is a lovely box of, I hope you're not allergic, but peanut brittle.
Okay. Let's take one more. Your time will come. 0 9 80 550. 550. The number is.
You got it?
Give us some ice cream, man. Give ice cream.
So this, this is a gift certificate courtesy of Kel's Candy for one sweet treat. Okay?
It could be chocolate, but no rum and raisin. Good. So now, sister, since you're working, yes, we're working so hard. Could you take the mic? You choose the people. I'm not looking, eh? So our first question tonight is, you could give me the name, you could give me a nickname, you could give me a bogus name, but it must be right. Tell me who was the best speaker in the finals of 2022.
You pick the person.
Who?
No, I'm telling.
Hygienic superstar.
Correct for Ted. What's up?
If I had noticed who was taking a mic in a hand, you wouldn't know.
No, you can't gamble.
You don't want it? Okay. So this is courtesy of the juice bar. You won yourself a 12-ounce smoothie.
Now, this one is open to anyone except members of the Literary and Debating Society.
And parents of such.
Parents, uncle.
the
You could, if you're in NYPD, you safe, sister. If you're in NYPD, you could answer. Y'all don't listen. NYPD people could speak, but the big people in the big school can't speak. Rest my case. Who is the president presently of the Literary and Debating Society? Don't ask me, I don't know. I just see something on the paper here.
Delicia Harrigan.
She's not even in the Literary and Debating Society. She is in NYPD. Anybody else? No, don't tell her who to go to.
Is it CC Walker?
Well, I'm not going to tell you. You tell me.
CC Walker.
Excellent. C.C. Walker, make some noise. This here is not open to anybody over 50. But you're either a footballer or potential footballer. Maybe you can't be a part of this. You never play football in your life. Mrs. Carty, I'm so sorry, but you can't be a part of this. Okay? So this is for footballers and potential footballers.
Hold on. So my friend behind me gets a gift voucher for Carnival for 1 large 2 toppings.
We are saying that. Hold on. Get the paper pen. Kalia, make sure your voucher sign is you're not getting squat. Okay. For the footballers and the potential footballers. It's a football question. Yeah, you could go first. I'll give you the first choice. Tell me the name of the player. It's a male player that won the MVP for 2022 Football League. This is courtesy of the Anguilla Football Association, Mr. Gordon Connor, who won the MVP for the AFL Football League in 2022. It's a man. Sister, all yours. Don't choose your friends now. Don't choose your friends. Sister, you don't qualify. You're not no footballer. Tell it to your daughter or your cousin.
Tafari.
You can give me the person right name, or you can give me their nickname. Alias. Tafari Webster. No, did it Tafari or Tafari Webster is correct. Try someone else.
Jomin Ricketts, yeah. Bino, something, yeah.
Right, you can't give the same person, you know. You don't gotta give somebody else. I'm not looking, you choose.
Jonathan Gishad.
Jonathan Gishad. No, unfortunately.
Oh, wait.
Move around the room, sister. Move and groove.
Oh, no.
Who got the MVP award in the AFL Senior Male League?
Jermaine Hughes.
Jermaine Hughes, good try. I wish it was him because I would have get something from him too. By the way, I heard the name tonight, you know. Okay. I heard the name tonight. That's the only hint you're getting. So whoever shouted it out will lose. Who?
G.
You hear Jay? No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Jermaine Ricketts?
Again?
Jermaine Ricketts?
You're going to only get this football if you can tell me his nickname. It begins with B.
Bino?
Bino, make some nice for Leah Webbo, Webelicious, Webster, Jermaine, Bino, Ricketts. Overruled. I gave it away? Okay. Hold on. Judge is coming back up. He still got stuff. Ha! Again. Judges, y'all win anything, you know? Y'all haven't won anything. So we're going to give you a chance to win something. Good. By the way, we're not gambling. You could just win something. I want you to tell me, and you choosing the judge, not me. Tell me, no, who won the Victor Ladorum for the high school sports last year? Which boy or man or child, male, one who was the most outstanding athlete at... I'll give you a little hint. He's not on Yellow House.
It gotta be a judge?
Yeah, it has to be a judge. They get first choice. He is on, I think, Maroon House. Talk to me. Don't just whisper to me. Who won the Victor Ladorum trophy in the Albany Lake Hodge Comprehensive School Inter-House Athletics Competition? Hello? Don't breathe. Judges first. They were aware when all the actions were going on. Now, Kishma, it's not in Yellow House. Anybody here in Maroon House? Okay. So here now, we're going to give it first of all to a Maroon House person. Anybody here in Maroon House? Anybody here in Maroon House? Anybody here in Yellow House? Woo! Sister, choose.
We don't support yellow.
Huh? Choose somebody.
We don't support
Choose
yellow.
somebody.
No.
Amani Webster.
No, he's a big boy. He's in the seniors. He's in the seniors.
Keontae Brooks.
Yes! Keontae Brooks! Yeah. We have more prizes? Yes. Huh? I mean, last term. Okay. Yeah, what a win. I hope you got a bill phone. 25 EC top up from Digicel. Sign the business. You got a phone, boo? What kind of phone you have? It better be a Samsung. Good. Good. This is not for the persons who won if they're in this room, but I want someone, one of the adults, no child. This is PG-14. I want one of the adults to tell me who won the NYPD debate last year. Adults only. Back there is an adult. Hold on. Before, tell me if you really want to stand up. Listen to the prize. You will win a free car wash. And if you have a truck, it's 50-something US. If you have a mini moke, it's about 15 EC. And you can win a free car wash if you could tell me. We don't have somebody back there. You better hope she get it wrong.
Tajanique Supersad and Javi Hamilton.
Woo! You tell your mother? Did you tell your mother? Somebody say objection. Overrule. The next, hold on. Since you're objecting all night, let me ask you the next question. You think you're bad? Well, hold on, I can't find a question for you. Yes. Who won last year? Let me get it right. Last year, who is last year's monarch in the Calypso competition for Carnival?
Roxy.
Huh?
Singing Roxy.
I thought you would say Roxy. Singing Roxy.
Sing,
brother.
yeah.
Singing Roxy. Sing up. I want you to sing one line of a song. Come. Yes.
You won yourself 25 EC top million visitors. Okay, spell your name for me, love. B-A.
And so, in the interest of time, we're not going to gamble. We're going to just go in the bag and pick out numbers in here so we can go fast. No gambling. Just pulling out of bags. Bring the bag. How much we have?
The bag is right there.
How much we have left?
All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 6 more things.
6 more. And with 6 of them coming out of the bag. Yeah. Pull the number. Quickly. You're going to win something, don't worry. You must win something with that vigor and vitality. Zero 980-544. 0980544. Yeah. What did she win?
1 meal courtesy of J&J's Catering valued at $20 US.
Okay. Huh? To be shared. What's the name? Good. We got 5 more. You gotta win something, brother. If you don't win, I'll come there and pick your ticket and look for it in the bag. But we'll be here all night. Give me this. Pardon, I pick it myself. 0980503. Quincy Marie. What did she win?
1 free month of aerobics courtesy of Train Spot by Marissa Ray.
And her husband looking at her hard. What a better, you couldn't have won a better prize. You're looking for that summer body. We're going fast and furious, but the important things behind me to win anything. Oh yeah, you win something, right? No, you look your stuff over there. Zero 980-545. 0980545. Again? How you get 2 tickets? Or you too shy? Or you don't want to gamble? Merit. Shake the bag, please. Carry the bag to her. You picking the last one. Call the number for us, sister.
0980511.
Again, call it again. 098051.
0980511.
11.
We're getting closer, we're getting closer.
They're getting closer to you for sure. The last one? Okay. You're good to go. McCormick. Samantha. Samantha, capital S. McCormick. I can't spell that. Spell McCormick for us, sister. McCormick. I thought it was M-A-R.
Okay, so you want yourself a large 2-topping pizza from J&J's.
And you can share it with your mom. All right, carry it back to that gentleman over there. Make sure he closes his eye.
He might cheat.
No, make sure he doesn't cheat. That's depending on you. No. They're just taking something out of a bag. You watching you know? That's it. Only one, sir.
I'll read it. 0980517.
No! Delicia. Delicia, you eat fully bush. Delicia, you eat fully bush. Listen, come. Hey, put back the number, come. He wants it back. Come, give him something. Give him man something, man.
098.
Hold on. Don't call. Don't hold the number in your hand. We're giving him this one. This one come for the last one. Come, what are we giving him?
A pencil.
Hold on, now you have to hear this first. You mightn't come.
This voucher is for one combo from Ken's Barbecue.
Last one, I'm going to ask Cece to ask the question. Because she is... We got two more? Okay. Yes. We got three more. Cece, come. You have a question? Yes? You didn't get your prize yet. That's how she did tell me we have three. I said two. One bottle of Slim Fast. Merit, you hear it? One bottle of Slim Fast.
Actually, you won one meal valued at $20 from Good Karma, and this was sponsored by DJ Q.
Actually, it's 54 EC. Tracy, you don't got yours either?
No, I have her written down.
Okay. So you got one more?
So one.
Okay. You gonna do what? Like that? Shelly, you're not gonna sleep tonight, you know. Last question. Cece, come on down and ask this question. You have the honor of asking the last question.
Which country will be hosting the 2024 Leeward Island debating competition? Yeah.
Sink it.
Sink it? Correct.
Put your hands together for all our prizes, all our.
So you won yourself a free pizza from Changes.
I need a list to be able to thank all these people tonight. Good. So now, people, we have done with all of the giveaway, and all my friends are happy. It's now time for the nitty gritty. We will now have our judges' decision. And you know what? We have to congratulate our judges because they didn't even give us time to give away. They were back in a hurry. I don't know if it was so easy or them just smart so. Put your hands together for our judges. And at this point, we're going to ask the best speaker judge to, could you all, you want to come up or you want the mic? Who's the best speaker judge? Oh, do you want to come up here? You want the mic come to you? You want to come to Muhammad or you want Muhammad come to you? Okay. So we're going to ask our best speaker judge to tell us a little about the best speaker and who is our best speaker tonight. Hold your breath.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, first and foremost, I think we should applaud all the debaters for having the courage to stand in front of us and deliver their presentations, all right? Before I give the best speaker results, there are a few comments that I would like to make, and I'm making them to the debaters because you are growing in this area, and it is important to give encouragement and to also point out, give you some tips as you go forward in your debate journey. All right? First and foremost, I would like to say that the debaters generally they spoke very well. They were audible, clear. They had good articulation. Voice modulation was also good. And for the most part, there was good command of the material. I would like to point out that the proposition in particular, they did a very good job with maintaining eye contact, all right? That is very important in delivering a debate. But what's also important is ensuring that when you look back onto your script, you know where you pick up, right? Because sometimes you may stumble because you can't remember exactly where you would stop off. So that is something that is important for you to note going forward. Additionally, it is also important that when we are delivering speeches, that our body language does not distract, right? That is not too excessive because it takes away from the debate. It takes away from your presentation. Fluency was generally very good. I will say that as well. I'm not going to stay too long. I will point out that the best speaker was that individual who was not only audible and clear and had good articulation, voice modulation was what sets that person apart. And there is a distinction that needs to be made between emphasizing a point and shouting, all right? When you're making emphasis, there is no need to shout. Also, careful attention needs to be paid to what part of your speech you're emphasizing. It affects voice modulation, it affects intonation, and it also affects the way in which the sentence or the paragraph is received by the audience. Right? So without further ado, I am going to let you know who the best speaker is and what the total score was and how much that person got out of that. All right? So the best speaker for tonight's debate goes to the second speaker of the opposition, Kishanice Edwards. Should I tell her score or should I tell her afterwards?
You said you were going to tell us, but I don't want to shout.
Okay, and it was a total of 80 points. And Kishanese, you got 70 out of 80 points. Good job.
Is it the best speaker of the finals? Correct? She's the best speaker of the finals. Yes. And you are from what house? What's the color of the trophy? I must admit I cheated. So I'm now going to call on the head judge to tell us a little about what she liked, what she didn't like so much, and what she would like to see. And I suppose you're going to give the results? You might. Come up here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm not here to be the bearer of bad news. I'm here to be the bearer of good news. The good news for Anguilla is that we have a bunch of really talented debaters to choose from in the next few years for LIDC. So I want you to give them a round of applause. As a country, we're going to have to get used to winning. It's going to get exhausting, but we got to keep up with the winning because these young debaters really shocked me tonight. And I know most head judges just get up and say this. They don't always be telling the truth. I promise you, I'm telling the truth. Each one of these debaters will have a future in debate as they move forward through their education, and I hope that they stick with it. I'm here to give basically a summation of all the judges and their views. Even the best speaker judge, we all had a very general discussion about the presentation. We were very excited. They came looking for us and we were like, we need some more time. And so, first of all, like I said, we applaud the efforts of everyone. Everyone did really well. In fact, the points were really close, and you'll see that when we come to the end. Some of the comments from the judges. Diction. In order to be clear, and for the most part, the debaters were very clear, but there were points where they may have had little hiccups, and they made it very visible at times that they had difficulties, and you can't do that in a debate. You have to power through. And we saw that actually with the two leaders at different points. So the judges noted with the prop leader, at the end of her presentation, she had a little hiccup, and she got very, very discouraged. And then the same thing happened with the leader during rebuttal. You have to, debating is difficult. Rebuttal is even harder because it's not a prepared speech. But you have to say what you can and then leave. But don't let anybody else know that you are struggling. The audience shouldn't see the struggle, and definitely not the judges. Miss Rose, I keep calling you Rose Tomlin, Mrs. Tomlinson, she noted the shouting. There's a difference between shouting and providing emphasis, and you have to ensure everybody loves a dramatic debate, trust me, and every debater has a different style of debating, but you have to be sure that the way that you dramatize certain parts of your speech doesn't overcome the actual argument, because you can lose the argument if you distract your audience. Now, apart from that, we noted that we had good diction. They were clear. On the opposition side, we noted that they were a little clearer than the prop in their presentations. Excellent diction, great fluency. The judges particularly liked the local example used in the presentation of the second speaker for opposition, talking about the robbery at the lottery and the way she leaned in and said, and we don't even have casinos yet. That was a favorite for all the judges. It was a really bright spot. We saw that replicated in the rebuttal performance for the prop, where she used some very heavy red meat. Them blue tickets had us all like, you know, I mean, that was a great, excellent moment, and that's what we look for in debates. Now, general comment, we felt like there could have been a little bit more research. One side was more researched than the other, but generally, there were not enough statistics. And gambling is not one of those novel areas where you shouldn't be able to find statistics and find material. It's important when you're arguing to back it up, because we think we know, but then you have experts with big names who studied for a long time who really, really know, and those people help to make your argument more persuasive. So it's important to use statistics and research to back up your arguments. Now that I've said all of that, rebuttals, as we know, that's the most challenging part of any debate. Every team, country, everybody struggles with rebuttals. They're difficult. But what you're looking for in rebuttals is spontaneity, you're looking for fluency, and then most of all, you're looking for the ability to refute your opponent's argument. And a lot of times, you're just looking for little red herrings, and all you're doing is then re-emphasizing your points. So you look for that one little thing in the person's debate, like, it's gonna cause divorce. Okay, we're gonna use the money and pay for counseling. You see, that's how it works. You're refuting in real time, and the only way to become good at rebuttals is to research the other side's argument, look for the weaknesses, and then hit it on the head. And, but anyway, after saying all of that, there was a 9-point difference. It was really very close between the teams. One side got 147 points, and the other side got 156 points. Anybody willing to guess who got 156 points? Who? Yeah. Well, obviously. You should have been debating. You seem very, very persuasive. The winner of tonight's debate with 156 points would be Team Proposition. Congrats. Congratulations to both teams on a job well done.
I was holding my breath because I knew it was close. Put your hands together for the judges. I thought I heard Pink House. No. Normally, we would do the vote of thanks at the end, but when people hear the vote of thanks, they leave. So before we actually distribute the prizes, I would like to do the official vote of thanks. And then at the end, we're going to give one last prize away. Good. Again, it is not possible for us to have such a quality debate, such prizes, such entertainment without our sponsors. So I will start first with those persons who gave our door prizes and our floor prizes. We have Sister Denicia Niles from T-Box Lounge. You can clap at the end. Ruthie's Yum Yum Restaurant. I was going to say Amber. Ken's Barbecue. The Juice Bar. DJ Q. Ket's Candy Ice Cream. Omega Car Wash. And Auto Detailing. Changes Bar and Restaurant. Train Smart and Marissa Ray. Oh, Train Smart by Marissa Ray. Oh. J&J's Catering. What is not J&J Pizza, but J&J's Catering. Digicel. Yes, they gave the prize for the tap-up. And, of course, we go back to our big sponsors. We have the Best Trophy Award tonight, and I'm going to ask Nakishma to present that trophy this evening. Sponsored by KCW Carty and Rogers, Attorney at Law, Anguilla Air Services, Mr. Jamie Hodge, the Honorable Premier Ellis Lorenzo Webster, the Honorable Kenneth Hodge, Honorable Quincy Gomes Marie, the Honorable Merritt Richardson, and the Honorable Jose Vanterpool, Jose. Mr. Jack and Sunny Times Supermarket, Island Harbor, Bass Car Rentals, Titanium Sounds, Anguilla Lottery, Mrs. Mary Smith, KCW International Computer System, the Bush Boys and Bevan Lake, Miss Raquel Fleming, Cool FM, Radio Anguilla, the principal and staff of the Albina Lake Arch Comprehensive School, Anguilla Football Association, and the staff and the authorities at the Teachers Resource Center for giving us the opportunity to use tonight's the facility. We also like to thank our caterers, Barbara Webster Bourne, Monica Gishad, wake up, Gwyneth Johnson, and I must again thank Gwyneth. She got the majority of the sponsor for me because I just couldn't get none. So I would just like to say thank you very much for supporting. I would also like to thank all the persons who participated, especially our trainers, Ronica Connor, C.C. Walker, Ivor Adams, Samisha Connor. Thank our debaters for doing such a wonderful job. Now you can clap. And of course, thank Gaff and his team for bringing this proceedings live, along with Radio Anguilla and Cool FM. And I see the judges watching me with beady eyes. You're not going to thank us? We also have to thank our judges for doing such a wonderful job. And of course, I need to thank you for coming out here, making the debaters feel special, and making them feel that they are a part of our society and their thoughts and input count. And then we also have to thank the Anguillian for taking pictures. Y'all didn't see the Anguillian, but the Anguillian was here. They took pictures, and of course, but by no means least, I thank myself for being the moderator, a great host. Thank you so much for having us here tonight. It was a wonderful occasion. So now I'm going to ask our principal to come, do the honors. She's going to help us to distribute our trophies and our awards. I said the audience, but you were relatively the audience. So we're going to start with our impromptu speech competition. This year, because of some of our restrictions, we decided to do the impromptu speech in-house. We're hoping that next year we could come back and have it on its own live here at the TRC. But we need to acknowledge, and those persons, we normally would have sponsors from the parents of Pisca Ogulu. So we suffice with that this year. So they're going to get their trophies and they're going to get their little envelopes. So we're going to start with the fifth place for the impromptu speech competition 2023. That goes to Michaela Connor. Come on down, sister. Fifth place, isn't it? That's just enough to buy a sugar cake. That's all. And in fourth position in the impromptu speech competition 2023, Delicia Harrigan. In third position, we have none other than Aliyah Webo Webster. In second position, we finally have a boy, perhaps a man, Mr. Timothy Mosanto. Doesn't even need the stairs. And in the number one position in the impromptu speech competition, we have the man himself, Mr. Barry Telemark. Overrule. Boy, you can't drop the money. We now move to the individual awards, and we'll start with the most improved debater for 2023. Aliyah Webelicious Webster. You got your prize already. The best new debater for 2023, that's the first former, Sahai Karate. The most helpful debater for 2023 in the NYPD episode goes to Keshawn Connor. You carrying home that? The best participating debater, and that is the person that when we have our discussion, they are very integral and they have a lot to say. I don't know if they influence the judges. But this goes to none other than Samantha McCormack. As first form. And the second farmer who we judged was best participant goes to Drusilla Bruno. I will have you know that the hair is yellow, not orange, yellow. Is it yellow? We got this. The best speaker for year one, the overall best speaker for year one, in other words, the best speaker in first form goes to Shalea Paul. Miss Anthony here? Woo! The best speaker overall for year two goes to Kishanice Edelicious Edwards. Now, after every debate, we have a best speaker. And so we have an overall best speaker. What happened? Me too. After every debate, we have the best speaker. And so the person who had the most best speaker award, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth form, goes to none other than the lady herself, Shalea Paul. And before we give the team award, I'm going to ask Ms. Rogers to come to make the presentation of the best speaker of the finals. Tonight's debate, the best speaker. This is the creme de la creme. Put your hands together for Kishanice and Delicious Edwards. It's only now she's frightened. Hello, this is a debate. Y'all embarrassing me. Miss Anthony, please. Now we move to the team award, and we'll start with third place. The third position in the NYPD 2023 debating competition goes to the team Nikaima Medina and Alea Webo Webster. Once we finish, we're going to have a picture with all the debaters. I'll be a part of that picture. I would love to have the trainers a part of this photo picture because we're going on Facebook. Okay. In second position in the NYPD 2023 debating competition, we have Team Sanaya Richardson and Kishanice Edo Edwards. Okay. Well, look at the color of the trophies, though. I made a mistake. Are we trying to say that the trophies are taller than them? And the 2023 NYPD debating champions go to none other than Shalea Paul and Tamaya Brooks. Now I saved the best for last. So we're going to have this picture, but just before we have the picture, we have a presentation, a special presentation. Look here. Don't watch me. Now you can watch me. Put your hands together for all our winners, all our sponsors. Put your hands together for our judges, our trainers, our supporters. But I have one last prize to give. We saved the best for last. We are going yum yum. Rooties yum yum. Now, we were here all day. I thank Kalia. I thank Itza. I thank Teach. What's your name again? Miss Grant. She was here all day. But one student came out and she not only worked all day, she worked all night. And even though she's still cussing the judges for not putting in the final, she still came out. And that's the kind of spirit I love. Put your hands together for our final winner of the night, Delicia Hawilicious Harrigan. Bring down Rooties Rum Rum. She got it ready? Okay. So you win the... Yeah, come up. Young Pinkos, what are you clapping for? So, while we take our pictures and look good for Facebook, we're going to move this. We have refreshments outside. Line up nice. I don't tell my debaters to come out on this night because this night is theirs. But they make we eat all the food and then ask us, how was it? We say we ate well. So thank you so much for coming. Again, I want to thank those persons who brought it to you live, and for those persons who are listening online, thank you for listening. We wish that you were here, but we appreciate your support. Gaff and his team, Cool FM, Radio Anguilla, thank you so much. And for all our sponsors, we had a great night and a great discussion. Have yourself some refreshments. All our debaters, come forward. Let's boogie. Thank you very much. Have a safe trip home.